Like a honk. Oh boy. Well, sorry for the delay here, my friends. I know this thing here actually take more than for the usual part here. Yeah, it is pretty much reasonable for shit to actually sort of take a while, but doesn't matter because, well, of course, here we are live. Coming to you here at Toronto, obviously. And well, of course, we're live in Rumble. Yep, now in Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and D Live. So, well, how you guys doing here, my friends? And well, of course, we got some lot of topics here to talk about here. But well, how about let's go to it. So, well, tonight, for surely Trudeau is just proving that Taiwan's can actually, well, take any hit. They don't want a reasonable debate. And as long as it's not a sort of communism thing here, they don't they don't want to be part of it or whatsoever because Trudeau, well, today he just proved something and we're gonna get to it. And well, James Carville, dipshit, he says that he wanna actually punch the unvaccinated in the face. Whoa! Holy cow! And Biba Fry, well, he's saying that correct. The media is outrightly lying. The legacy media, which is obviously, and Mad sold out Madison Square Garden concert, and the crowd chanted, "Let's see, let's go, Brandon! Oh boy!" And there's more here. And one, of course, this is Asseylum Justin Villamor show, and you're currently watching it as of right now. Boom. So, well, of course, here, my friends, welcome to the show. And, well, for some of us all here, this is the actually sort of first time in the week that we actually managed to get it on time. So, well, obviously, this is Asylum Justin Villamor show. This is Asylum Justin Villamor show, which obviously streams uh every night 6 p.m. Eastern time, and obviously bringing you some commentaries of the day of the week, which obviously was from Monday to Friday. But you can just obviously see from the t-shirt that I'm currently wearing as of right now, COVID-19 84. So doesn't matter, but well, we're gonna get to the very first topic here. Holy oh boys. Just take a look at this. So here we are at Red Voice Media. Trudeau can take the hit, walks on parliament and gets wood viciously for refusing to listen. So again, it is now very obvious that tyrants, they don't want to actually listen to what the other side is saying, kind of what the people actually promoting freedom are trying to point out here, obviously. No, they're not interested. Tyrants like Trudeau, he's not like they're not interested on literally talking about and listening freedom. Yes, they don't like it, and obviously they don't like when someone is, yes, talking about freedom, trying to bring freedom to the table. Then, well, Trudeau just proved it. And, well, conservative actually went in on and booed Trudeau off the wheel because for the most very obviously part here is that when you have someone like him just literally acting like the way he is, what I mean about that is that, acting like a tyrant, it just literally proves something here. Um, well, I'm just trying to point out right over here. Trudeau, I mean Castro Jr., he's just going on here and just, well, pull off his foster father's legacy. Um, I there's a reason why I actually said foster because, well, Pierre Trudeau is his real father, but I there's a whole type of medical reason why I said forefather. Like Fidel Castro is kind of Trudeau's foster father because obviously he's acting like Castro, Justin Trudeau Castro. So although Canada's prime minister and before we go on, so yeah, hold on. It's not just the freedom truckers anymore. Obviously, because from what you're seeing also is that farmers and cowboys had joined in also in the fight. What I mean about that is that they surely had decided enough is enough and they joined in the fight against tyranny. 2 weeks to flatten the tyranny, or maybe I should go ahead and say that 2 years to flatten the tyranny, and the honking will continue until freedom improves, until we have completely brought the tyrant to the table. Because that is the important. We have to keep going until we force Castro Jr. to the table. Because you may see him right now that he is constantly refusing to just obviously go to the table and listen to the demands of partners, like to our demands. What we want the mandate drop. We want things to go back to normal. But Castro Jr. says, look, not having any of that. There's no way I will go to the table and negotiate. No way. I'm just gonna continue on with smearing these people, calling name call these people because for me they're the enemies. They're the real enemies and so forth. But well, just saying, it is a type of very obvious way how tyrants act. Why? Why I'm saying it? Because obviously, like if you try to do this in, let's see, Mao Zedong's China, yes, If you do try to do this in China, pop, you're gone. You dare to criticize the CCP, mean the Chinese Communist Party, pop, you're gone. And if you try to do that in North Korea also, pop, same thing. Let's see, Venezuela, same thing. Cuba, same thing. All fascist, communist, tyrannical countries that have a dictator as a leader. Those type of countries, you don't actually try to dare to actually sort of do that. But if you dare to actually sort of do it, you know what happens right after it. Meaning, the things happen right over it is that, yes, these tyrants, they will do anything they can to just silence you. Why? Why do I want to actually resort to that? Because obviously they don't want people challenging their authority. They don't want people coming together and fighting for freedom. All they want is the people to actually bow down to the tyrannical regimes. Obviously. And I'm sure you've seen it multiple times how tyrants act. So in any events, we're gonna actually read this. So although Canada's Prime Minister might be able to run and hide from the thousands of protesters who descended on Ottawa, Justin Castro Trudeau, is finding it incredibly hard to do the same when it comes to the House of Commons, while citizens aren't able to question the Prime Minister directly. Conservative and the opposition within the House of Commons whipped into the proof hysteria presented by Castro Jr. and asked him to do nothing more than listen not only to different opinions but also to the Canadian people. But obviously, Trudeau doesn't want any of that. No, he doesn't want it. Because the only thing that he wants is obviously correct. He just wants you to just listen to this type of nonsense he says and just sort of, obey it. And undoubtedly, well, just shut up and obey. That's the type of message you're trying to send all across here. Yes, that is the very obvious message that they're trying to send out to you. It's either you shut up and obey, or we will do our very best to silence you. Because, again, when it's tyrants like Trudeau, only thing they want is 100% absolute power. And I'm sure you remember this type of wording. Um, Absolute powers collapse absolutely. And it is true. And you're just seeing it here with your own eyes. Absolute powers, yes, absolute power collapse absolutely. And also, this is the problem with big governments. Because the most very obviously part here is that big having big government, meaning the government have more power and you have less freedom, meaning you have less power. And also, big government can also lead into full-blown communism. And I'm sure you remember what I talked about, one of the topics that I actually talked about yesterday. Basically, well, when the DHS, Biden's DHS, Department of Homeland Security, just literally said that freedom of speech is actually a sort of terrorism stuff, is a terrorist threat, which is abundantly ridiculous. Can't just like you just can't literally but to sort of help but to actually just laugh it off. But I would say is that it is not a sort of laughing matter anymore because obviously what we're seeing right over here is a full blown tyranny, full blown communism, tyrannical fascist trying to do their best to obtain more power and to have a total control on its own people, on its citizens. But obviously, you can't hide the truth longer. It's not gonna take long for people to actually realize the truth because of obviously you cannot hide the truth forever. It will come out and people will smell BS. And once people had come together, pop, you have it. Like once the people have come together, meaning it's game over. Because it is actually we that have the power here. Like we, the people who actually put in all of you dipshits right over in your place. So in video which is featured below, conservative John Barlow lashed out at Trudeau for not acting like a prime minister and pushing forward with egregious proof mandates, although the people have opposed such a move. Well, he listened to Canadians, obviously not. He's not interested on it because if that was sort of, BLM's sort of protest, all the thing here, like, kind of, if that's BLM out there in the parliament hill protesting, oh yes, I can guarantee you, Castro Jr. would gladly to actually meet up with them and bend the knee together. Because obviously, not only that he's a massive hypocrite, but he's a big liar. He lied, and also what he's doing is what obviously what you're seeing, what sort of his father did. Mean about that is that you just seen right over here, based on what he's doing now, is the same thing what his father Fidel Castro did on Cuba. So, well, for the most of things, my friends, is that we're gonna actually sort of watch this video.
Canada's Prime Minister is pandering to politics by division, stoking anger and fear. The rhetoric he used towards those Canadians who support lifting the mandate adds fuel to the fire. These are not the actions of a Prime Minister. A senior member of the Liberal caucus has publicly criticized his tone, his language, and his approach to the pandemic. Will the Prime Minister act like a Prime Minister? Will he listen to the opposition, listen to his own caucus? Will he listen to Canadians, or will he continue with this divisive rhetoric?
The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Beginning of the pandemic, our government has been laying out with great transparency what we believe is the best way to pandemic, and that's vaccinations. And I want to give credit to the 90% of Canadians who've taken up that cause, the 90% of truckers who've taken up the cause of vaccinations to ensure that the wheels of our continue to. For those who are outside, Mr. Speaker, this government is working very closely with Ottawa to provide the police all of the tools and resources that they need to end this conflict as quickly and as peacefully as possible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Foothills.
as possible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member for Foothills.
Canadians, including a senior member of the Liberal caucus, speaking loud and clear.
I'm going to have to ask the honourable member from Foothills to stop while his members on his side are heckling him. So I'll let him continue now. The honourable Hills.
Canadians, including senior members of the Liberal caucus, are speaking loud and clear. Canadians are looking for pandemic leadership. Canadians are standing up right now, grabbing this moment in our history, because they know that there is something fundamentally wrong when a Prime Minister refuses to listen. Countries around the world are changing direction, but here in Canada, our Prime Minister resorts to playground antics and calling names. If ever there was a time for inspired leadership, it is now. Will the Prime Minister grow up? Will he do his job? Will he listen to Canadians?
So, well, what most of our honesty part is that you just sort of seen right over here that, well, he actually blow it up, and will he actually act like a prime minister, or he will continue acting like a tyrant? And that is a good one there, because way more honestly, you're sort of seeing right over here. It is just a sort of ridiculous to just to just see that number one, Trudeau actually refuses to just sort of meet with the truckers and so forth, and number two, he's actually refusing to just stop with his mere campaigns. So obviously, what you're seeing from right over here, that Trudeau is still acting like a bunch. Yes, he's acting like a tyrant. He's actually acting like those dictators that he actually admires. Let's see. Which country again he actually had an admiration for? What country is it again? Oh yes, China. He has a yes, he had an admiration for China for its basic dictatorship. Remember that? I kind of remember when Trudeau actually said before he was that was before he actually became the Prime Minister of Canada. Well, he actually kind of said that in the past, that was before let's say 2016 or so, before he became the Prime Minister, that he actually went on this quote. Um, there's a level of admiration I had for China for its basic dictatorship, because well, the sort of dictatorship allows them to actually go green much more faster, and kind of blah 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 blah, end quote. And that is so ridiculous to just sort of see from a prime minister, like from a guy who actually is a prime minister, to just sort of say those words, kind of to say that he has a admiration for China, like, because of its basic dictatorship. So obviously, he's actually doing it, and I'm sure, um, President Xi Jinping, I'm sure he's actually very proud of what Trudeau is doing right now. All of these tyrants, and not only that, I'm sure sort of yeah, Mao Zedong, Hugo Chavez, Fidel Castro, Vladimir Lenin, all of these tyrants, I'm sure they're actually happy to see sort of Trudeau actually taking up their ideology, and even Karl Marx, I'm sure he will be so happy to see that Trudeau is actually taking up his Marxist ideology. And I'm sure it's that more and more people will actually wake up and come to their senses. But way more honestly is that the guy, he's just a type of ridiculous guy. Like, he's so ridiculous for actually saying that, he has a basic dictatorship for China, kind of, for its basic dictatorship, kind of, he's a basic admiration. I mean about that. Yeah. So again, just saying right over here, Trudeau, he's just actually doing, he's just well practicing what he said, like, because remember, say, hold on, I got, sorry about that, but anyways, so once again, just seeing with your own eyes, Trudeau going on here and says like, I'm doing this because I admire China for its basic dictatorship, for their sort of tyrannical, how the Chinese Communist Party actually sort of imposed their dictatorship, and I really admire it, says Trudeau. And again, just seeing from that guy, you just seeing kind of from that video, he actually walks out, and it is actually good that he got heckled for actually walking out and refusing to actually listen to the question during the question and answer period. So I don't know what gonna happen to that guy, but hopefully in the next election, he will be voted out. But what I'm saying also around here is that people actually sort of sending email to the Governor General's office to actually register a no confidence vote for on Trudeau and so forth. But let's see, like, because there's gonna be a whole chance on it. Who knows? But here's the part here. There's no even clear path. Or, there's no clear uh transparency if well the Governor General will actually fart it off and actually put a no confidence. And well, I'm not even sort of sure yet to if that will happen, but we'll just have to see it. So well, before we actually move on here, just seeing over here is that for the type of reason why Trudeau had this type of confidence to actually go on here and just sort of dismiss it and just act like a tyrant, because over the past 2 years, well, he just by literally, well, had able to do that because no one has able to not enough actually calling him out on it, and not enough people come at that time. And during that time the sort of masses are still sleeping. That's why. So it's not even to be considered as surprising when that when you have that guy just over the well out there in the parliament, in well in his office, acting like a tyrant, acting like a dictator, because obviously just seeing here how dictators actually do their shits here. What I mean about that is just take a look on it. Like China, no term of limits. Let's see. Yep. Venezuela, Cuba, these Marxist dictators can stay in the power as much they want to, which is totally ridiculous, though. So I would say is that term limits will be good. Yes, it's a good thing here to have term limits because it will actually prevent tyranny from coming on. But that thing here is not enough because you need also to have, let's see, smaller governor and make sure that democracy is functioning well. What I mean about that is, first and most all, there has to be a checks and balance, obviously, in order to have a good functional democracy. You need that checks, check and balance, and you need actually to make sure that well, there's there's terms limit. Well, not only that, just take a look on the U.S. You see, we the people actually says in the U.S. Constitution, we the people, and I would say is that it should be same. It should be the same thing here with Canada. We the people, not the government, and you're like Trudeau actually thinks that he's the boss, and kind of that we the people actually are his sort of slaves or his let's say servants, but that is opposite to kind of that's not the way it is because it's we the people are the master, not him. He is just a servant. All right, it's nice and simple. Like we the people are the servants, not the government. The government is just the government is the servant. The people is the master. So meaning the government works for the people, and kind of we the people don't work for them. Like come on. And just pointing out the fact is that well, no one actually called out Trudeau over the past 2 years in the House of Commons for actually imposing tyranny. And, well, it is widely obvious from what you're seeing over here that because of that type of particular reason that not enough people actually had sort of come together to actually fight against tyranny. And that's where Castro Jr. had gathered much courage to just literally, obviously, just walk out, ignore, and act like a tyrant. But that's not only the worst part here. Um, well, the media obviously they're also uh they're actually taking taking millions of dollars from Justin Trudeau's media bailout. So it's not even surprising to see when the media also sort of, instead of just out there reporting the truth and actually holding people in the government accountable, what they're doing instead, they're on the side of the government, kind of, they're actually taking Justin Trudeau's side and smearing and spreading lies and fake news on people that actually Trudeau actually disagrees with, that he actually deems as enemies, as his enemies. So just well, this topic is just right about that. What I'm talking about here, obviously, like I think is that it is actually sort of perfect timing for this topic because I was just sort of right now talking about the media, and we're just gonna continue on talking about the media because the next topic is right about that. So here we go. So here we are at Breitbart, and just take a look at this exclusive video. Canadian YouTuber Biba Fry. Legacy media are outright lying. Um, Obviously, well, he is right on that. Legacy media, aka the mainstream media, they are abundantly, outrightly lying. That's the thing that I'm sort of, pointing out right over here. They are 100% lying to you. And they're actually sort of out there, well, being the propaganda machines of Trudeau and the government. And obviously, what they're doing is that also they're just out there smearing people that they, well, exclusively don't agree with. So that's also part of the problem here because when you have those people kind of, the mass media, sort of, defending the government and kind of, taking the government side, you know that democracy is in danger. Yes, the media mob, as Sean Hannity likes to call it, likes to actually call these liars as. And it is ridiculous. And from my seeing here, kind of, how they sort of go on here, smear things here, and try to portray some shit here, which is obviously there. Instead of actually, as these people, they actually call themselves journalists, and they say they're not fake news, they're real news. Excuse me, you're not. You're a bunch of fake news. You're just a bunch of propaganda machines because, well, instead of actually going out there and reporting stories, reporting the truth of the story, he just out there actually ignoring the truth of the story and won't actually have the type of temerity to actually sort of report the truth. And he just out there also making up stories. So it is actually just sort of ridiculous to just sort of well think that these people actually out there saying kind of right off in the TV, or right in front of the camera, kind of telling to the people that, oh, we're kind of we're a bunch of journalists, we're real honest journalists, we're out here kind of telling you truth, kind of blah 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 blah, all of that nonsense. I know, right? That is so ridiculous to just sort of think. Um, let's see here. Oh, let's continue on reading this story. See, ah, Canadian YouTuber David Freiheit, who operates under the name Viva Fry, told drivers on Tuesday in Ottawa, Ontario that the legacy media and politicians are outright lying about the Freedom Convoy in Canada's capital city. Again, I'm not actually disputing it because it is true. Because here's the point here. When you have, let's see, correct, when you have the sort of the people in the media outright lying and siding with corrupt politicians and siding with the tyrant, just seen um you that freedom, the democracy is real, is under the threat. Yes, is it is under attack, and Oh boy. Here's the thing here is that when it's come to the media, they're just supposed to be out there actually sort of reporting truth, of the truth, and actually being transparent and honest instead of out there lying and smearing, running hit pieces and making up stories. Nah. So, in my point of view here is that it is actually sort of time to just literally defund the media altogether. The legacy media I'm talking about. Yes. So it is outright move to actually it is actually sort of time to make a move to defund the legacy media. Defund them and we don't need them obviously. When you have the media outright lying, you already know that you cannot trust these people. Alright. So same thing kind of if my doctor actually lied to me multiple times as this so-called doctors does, right off I would say to my doctor, you know what, doc? You've outright lied to me multiple times and you're fired and I will no longer visit you. And well, obviously I'm gonna search for a real honest doctor. So it's nice and simple. And speaking of these so-called doctors, which is obviously they're not even real doctors that I keep mentioning here. They're all bunch of bureaucrats with medical degrees. Yes, they're all bunch of people, kind of unelected bureaucrats, unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats with medical degrees. So, and well, of course, another type of ridiculous part here is that, well, these politicians are just actually warning this, letting this sort of bureaucrats run wild, imposing tyranny. Wow, they're just they're just supposedly kind of sitting out there and giving advice to politicians and like making decisions, but no, they're just letting these bureaucrats make decisions for the people. Wow, unbelievable. My height has done hour-long live from Ottawa across recent days documenting events at and around Parliament Hill in the city's downtown core. So here's what he said. Quote, the first thing you need to know is that the legacy media of Canada is outright lying. Uh, the politicians are outright lying. They're banking on the fact that a majority of the people are getting their news from the same outlets that they pay to lie. Those consuming and trusting legacy media ending believing false characterization of the protest, obviously. If you believe what you were told, you will not feel safe walking here, and you will that something is going on here that is not going on here. The demonstration includes people crying with joy, while others are crying from tragedy they have gone through the last 2 years. Sense of patriotism, obviously. People are saying that their face muscles from smiling so much that they haven't smiled so much in 2 years, that they haven't been this proud to be Canadian in 2 years, and that they haven't felt this level of patriotism in 2 years. Uh, Demonstration support is framing the event as defined by love. So, He concluded, when they talk about a summer of love, this will be a winter of love. It is nothing but people walking around, hugging, playing hockey, eating outside. This is nothing but the most peaceful, peace loving, law abiding people you've ever seen. They're shoveling the sidewalk, they're cleaning up their garbage. Just look around. It's a thing of beauty. End quote. It is true because I've seen videos in Instagram, just literally shows people shoveling the sidewalks and if trying to actually sort of keep this sidewalk clean. Kind of I mean not the sidewalk, kind of that was also making sure the surrounding the sort of the place, all roads, all of the sidewalks are clean and safe. Same thing with the walks. Kind of yeah, they're just making sure things are safe, including the sidewalk, the roads that has been totally closed down. So it is bilateral obvious what you're seeing from over here. So let's watch this.
I'm here with Viva Frey, and I just want to ask you, what is it you think Breitbart News audience needs to know about what's going on here in Ottawa and in capitals across the provinces of this great country?
The first thing you need to know is that I will call it the legacy media of Canada, is outright lying. The politicians are outright lying. They're banking on the fact that a majority of the people are getting their news from the same outlets that they pay to lie. And you need to know what's going on. If you believe what you were told, you would not feel safe walking here, and you would think that something is going on here that is not going on here. So you need to know that. This, as far as I've seen, other than people crying with joy, and I'm not saying this, you can go watch my streams, literally crying with joy. Other people are crying from tragedy that they've gone through over the last 2 years. People are saying that the face muscles hurt from smiling so much, and that they haven't smiled so much in 2 years, that they haven't been this proud to be Canadian years, and that they haven't felt this level of patriotism
Huh?
in 2 years. So if you can get down here to see it, even if you don't agree with it, get down to see it so you can come to your own conclusions in person. And if you support it, get down and support it peacefully. Politicians can hear what the people have to say. But it's truly an amazing movement to see, because it's not just local, it's spreading internationally, and it's phenomenal.
Okay, I want you to elaborate on that. I've been watching a lot of your live streams while I'm at home preparing for work. Share with our audience what your perception is of the atmosphere, the vibe, the emotions that you've experienced, that you've observed. Just try to communicate that if you can.
It's optimism for the first time in 2 years, and the mood is this is when they talk about a summer of love, this would be the winter of love. Like, this is actual nothing but people walking around, hugging, playing hockey, eating outside, and literally nothing but love in a political sense. And it's tough to explain. There's no bad element here, and the odd time you see it, they're invited to leave. There was a guy who was giving CNN during their interview, and I and another person, leave alone. Don't give that impression to the crowd here. That's not what it's about. The one dude who had the Confederate flag was asked to leave, and I know the guy who asked him to leave, because first of all, it was in the video, and second of all, I know the guy. The elements that the media is depicting as the rule, they're not only the exceptions, they are asked to leave when anybody sees them. This is nothing but the most peaceful, peace-loving, law-abiding people you've ever seen. They're shoveling the sidewalks, they're cleaning up their garbage. I mean, just look around. It's just a thing of beauty.
I'm here with Viva.
So you have it there. So once again, we still actually getting through all the topics for today, but well, right off I would say on that. It is 100% true. Kind of the most peace-loving, peaceful protest that you've ever seen. A bunch of patriots actually coming together to fight off tyranny. And you know what? Right off the thing here is that if you actually just sort of go on here and watch and listen to the lies of the mainstream media, you will actually believe it and actually think that it's not safe to actually go on here and think that there's a sort of vandalism going on and kind of they're actually desecrating and defacing statues and actually vandalizing and they actually sort of vandalize the statue of Tyre Fox, which is 100% bogus. I haven't like the thing here is that I've been to all what two times now, like 2 Saturdays in a row. All right, and what I've seen there, kind of what the thing that I've seen during my time there at Ottawa. Well, I've seen well peace-loving patriots coming together, and they also have food well about food but well they also have soup kitchen. That's what I'm trying to point out here. Yes, oh boy. So well, they have soup kitchen. Well, there's some tons of stuff here. There's also dance party here, music party, people dancing, coming together, chanting, and honking horns. So it is just abundantly ridiculous from what you're seeing there because honestly, the media they just actually cherry picking on the stuff that they want to actually cover and obviously over the past 2 years when they actually go on here and cover let's see well the freedom protest, yes, the freedom rally, the freedom movement, it's all nothing but negative, all non-stop smear campaigns. So honestly, when you have those people in the media, like Kyrie Lake actually says that it is actually when you're in the media and you do those stuff, it is actually a bad business model, and it is true. So overall here, my friends, the show will be going for a break here, and be right back. Well, I'm back here. So well, well. There we go. Just a little bit. There we go. See, there we go. Hold on. There we go. So now I would like to actually take this type of bilateral moment to just say right over here how the type of ridiculousness that you've seen from the media, how they just go on here and never ending type of smears, just ridiculous. You just sort of see here how they just, well, overly sleep at night, just sort of thinking, yeah, I did a great job. So I, well, give myself a pat on the back. I just did what I told, kind of, all but nothing, yeah. So I can't just help but to say this because it's been actually bugging my mind. This type of question is that how on earth these people in the fake news media sleep at night knowing that they've actually destroyed someone for just having a different point of view that they disagree with and making up stories and not telling the truth of the story. How can they actually do that kind of how can they actually sleep at night knowing those that they have did those stuff? Eh? I just been wondering here kind of I just can't help myself but to just literally ask those questions because it is true kind of how on earth this goofballs sleep at night knowing that they have done some many wrong stuff feeling is that they're just literally one hit pieces that stops smears and making up stories not reporting the truth because way more honestly your job as a journalist is to actually report stories report the truth of the story but well, if you're not actually doing that and you're just being sort of, thinking inside of the government and actually, doing, uh, you're just actually going out there and, well, of course, smearing people on the behalf of the government. You're not being a real journalist at all. You're just being a propaganda and you're just being a propaganda machine of the government. Just being a propagandist. So, well, let's get over here. Here we're at White Bar and Canadian anti-hate group, so-called anti-hate group, which is obviously they're not because they're all a bunch of lobbyists. Obviously, they're in the side of the government. Use Miami anti-Semitic flyer to smear truckers. Um, Here's the part here. I haven't heard any single racist, anti-Semitic, transphobic, um, help well homophobic and Islamoph kind of I haven't well again just trying to say it again. I haven't heard any single racist, homophobic, transphobic, Islamophobic, xenophobic, well, anti-Semitic, any words of those categories that I mentioned. I haven't I didn't hear yes, I didn't hear any word of it. But obviously the media, they're just gonna go on here and obviously all this so-called anti-hate group, which is obviously they're not. But Canadian anti-hate network, yeah right. Anti-hate my ass because they're all bunch of lobbyists for the government. And they're just I feel that they're just also being propaganda arm for the government, obviously. So they just go on here and spread of anti-Semitic flyer and social media claiming, oh, shit, blah, 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 blah. Again, that is not true because, well, from what you're seeing there, people united together, all different back, all people from different backgrounds come there to actually fight for freedom. This is the most diverse uh, peaceful protest movement that I've ever seen. So, Well, they're just going out there and just, well, almost like they're editing stuff, editing tools, and just sort of, publish it and just make it look like that it is the way it is. Like that, well, it is kind of, well, sort of anti-Semitic flyer or whatsoever, blah, 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 blah. They just actually do that by, making up stuff. White, outrightly lying. So, it's just sort of uh, ridiculous and bizarre to see this sort of, so-called anti-hate group, which is, again, 100% BS because they call themselves an anti-hate group, but, you know, instead is, but, they're not actually, they don't even, let's see, the question, how about let's go over for question, we're break of period here, yeah, so for a brief of period here, I'm gonna be here asking questions about to this so-called anti-hate group, anti-hate network, yeah, whatsoever. Have you guys actually went in out and actually sort of called out Trudeau for being racist and kind of, wearing uh blackface multiple times more than he can remember? Have you actually go out there and uh called out Trudeau and actually um well try to just sort of go, I mean about is that have you called out Trudeau for doing that, and also have you actually come out and say that Trudeau needs to actually apologize and actually, you know, say that he is racist and kind of, should not be lecturing us about racism and so forth, kind of saying stuff against Trudeau. When we're saying nope, um, well, obviously, do they receive funding from Trudeau? Mm, obviously, because it says here the head of Trudeau funded Canadian anti-hate network, meaning the all lobbyists for Trudeau. Um, have they actually come out for real type of? Have they actually come out and say stuff against the vaccine mandates? The truth is, real segregation that we're actually experiencing right now here in Canada and over US and, well, have they actually come out and say that this is purely discrimination and segregation to their citizen class society? Which is my last question to these goofballs. Have you guys actually did that? I don't think so, because it is actually ridiculous. Kind of, it is absolutely bizarre for these people to actually call themselves you know an anti-hate network, kind of, anti-hate group, when they're being actually just sort of being lobbyists or oh boy. So Bernie Barber, see, I made a mistake on that. All right, I'm I actually made a mistake, so I actually take back what I actually uh and I'm also correcting the mistake that I just made. All right, isn't simple. It is how it works here. Uh I made mistake. I immediately try to correct it. So yeah, Bernie Farber, who is listed as the chair of CAHN on the group's website, tweeted Sunday, taking by a friend at the occupation of desire for capturing anti-Semitic flyer. Yeah. So take a look at that. Holy wow. Holy really anti-Semitic. Ah. So if these people are just if this chapter convoy freedom, if this freedom convoy, yeah, freedom buttons, yeah, if the freedom convoy are a bunch of anti-Semitic people, and then why on earth they will actually just go on and welcome Ezra Levant, who happens to be a Jew and of course is the head of Rebel News. Why would they actually welcome here? Why would they actually welcome him and actually invite him to actually? I mean, about is that invited him to actually let's say to actually speak in the stage. Why would they actually do that if they're all bunch of anti-Semitic people? Eh? Just a little bit of common sense here. All right. So just remember the question I just said. So if these people are a bunch of anti-Semitic, then why on earth they would actually welcome Ezra Levant and actually invite him to, invited him to speak in the stage and let him speak in the stage, speak to the whole crowd of people if they're all bunch of anti-Semitic, because Ezra Levant, who happens to be a Jew, well, they invited him and actually I feel they invited him to speak in the stage, and then he's dead. And then that actually debunks the bizarre narrative about the Freedom Convoy. Nice and simple, because just by simply taking a look on it, and that they, in the fact that, well, they literally, let's see, invited as relevant to speak in the stage. As they invited him to speak in the stage and let him do it. As after inviting him and he accepted the invitation, and they just actually let him have his speech. So if they're all bunch of anti-Semitic, then they're already then they will already well heard anti-Semitic stuff on Ezra, and also well, surely, if they're all bunch of anti-Semitic, if anti-Semite, then why weren't they actually did? Why did the organizers, the people that in charge of the sort of stage in handling the speeches in the Freedom Conference in Ottawa, actually let invited Ezra and actually let him do it, let him speak to the people, eh? Giving him platform to speak. Why would they actually do that if they're all bunch of anti-Semite? So that alone, that fact that well, Ezra Libat actually got invited to speak in the stage at Ottawa kind of last Saturday. I mean, not Saturday, but let's see, the very first weekend of the freedom. Yes, February the 5th. So if that's the sort of days there, then why would they just sort of it, wait, that's February the 5th. That is February the 29th. Yes, February 29. Oh, cheers. That is January 29. Oh, that's a bit of correction there. Yeah. So correction. So uh not February the 5th, but January the 29. So that was the last weekend of January. So let's continue on. After being confronted over the picture on Twitter, Farber later deleted the tweet and said it. Okay, for the record, a friend from all over the. So I posted was owned and originally from Miami. Ah, I cannot at this thing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Then don't do it, you damn asshole. You dipshit. Because here's the other part here. Um, this type of people kind of having the type of audacity to just sort of go and just edit it and kind of make it claim that it is from Ottawa. But if we actually just did it, let's see. No, that is in Miami because that was in let's see. Yep, that was in Miami. It was owned and originally from Miami. Because if that is was kind of from the Freedom Convoy in order, then it will be already wet and you won't able to see it clearly if that was in the ground because it will be wet, soaked wet with because of this snow there at Ottawa, obviously. So some people kind of this type of people they just go on here and just sitting kind of just sitting and like oh yes, even though this photo originated from Miami and just actually make a claim that how a friend of mine actually said that this is from the Freedom Convoy, blah 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 blah, and I actually ended up tweeting out. And then after being called out, he just literally deleted. And I'm sure he's hiding right now like a coward. So this is the type of basic ridiculousness that you see from these people. Nancy. Ah, that is last year. So yeah, angry mayor na Nancy. So, uh, thinly veiled white nationalist. Yeah, wait. Yeah, wait. White nationalist. Yeah, wait. He's a white nationalist. Go fuck yourself. Take a look at that. This is basically the sign of true. This is one of the signs says true, not strong and free. That is, those words are part of the lyrics in "Oh Canada." And it goes like this: "Oh Canada, our whole name to a blend, to pay to love, in our son's command. With glowing heart we see the wise, the true, not strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Nice and simple like that. And you know, they actually one of these some protesters actually sort of taking those lyrics into their signs. But true north strong and free. Again, it is basically from the uh, those words actually originated from the Canadian national anthem, "O Canada." So that's basically that alone actually sort of debunks the lies, the narrative that they want to actually portray to the people because that is basic patriotism and oh see excuse me. So well I just actually got a sort of information regarding about GoFundMe. So most apparently here is that GoFundMe actually is so being stubborn and they actually said that we will not actually give your money back and we're actually gonna go straight and actually sort of well give it to terrible kind of left wing we approve all of this leftist thing here that we approve of. But we actually go to BLM or whatsoever, but um call for action, and if you're in this case, call your attorney general. Yes, your state attorney general. And if the state attorney general is a Republican, they will actually more gladly to actually sort of take action against GoFundMe, but uh, overall, you cannot actually rely on the attorney generals here in Canada because they're all bunch of commies and dipshits serving as the propaganda arm of the government. So, Russian owned funding platform Senko is hosting a new fundraiser for the Canada Freedom Convoy after this initial was shut down by platform GoFundMe. We're saying that this is a forward call for maybe they will this of a part of the forward movement. Excuse Ivan Bolgord. Yeah, right. CBC Global News. Oh, Canadian Broadcaster Global, yeah. Baby. But if you do forward, this is perversion, is a perversion. This is basically a terrorism, Canada is a perversion. What this, you know, people in the fire, even out there that you know what? Here's the part here. Like, this is what actually, Sotic Cocker says. He says, like, this, you know, he said that, you know, meme them until they cry and make memes of them crying. And honestly, what's happening there? So Trudeau's government is violating Canadians' freedom of speech, expression, assembly, and religion, told by just on Wednesday. Obviously. So again, these tyrants, they don't give a fuck. Obviously, like, they don't give a damn about about it. Alright. No, they don't. They don't actually care about it. Nope, they don't. That's the thing that you need to remember. When it's come to the tyrants, they will just actually care about their power. That's the thing. That is the only thing that they care about. And I'm sure leftists are going like this. Let me show you. Oh boy. So, my overall kind of, the overall bilateral thesis that I think this is sort of the thing here with the leftists. And, the type of bilateral, let's say, reaction to the freedom convoy. But as of right now, it just seems how sort of, ridiculous to just see right over here that they just sort of, sitting like and screaming like a bunch of idiots like they are. And you know what? Bilaterally, right off, I would say, well, first of all, most of this glitching leftists. They're all bunch of privileged people, kind of, bunch of privileged goofballs, going out there, kind of, screaming about racism, yeah, blah 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 blah, all of this type of nonsense. And um, when there's people out there actually calling them out and calling this, having a different point of view, they will just actually, go after you and, well, just literally try to get cancel culture rolling against you. But here's the thing here. When it comes to cancel culture, I'm gonna go back to it, kind of, when it comes to cancel culture. So, when it comes to cancel culture, here's how the thing here. Like, never apologize to these people because they don't want any type of that. Like, they don't want any of that shit. All right, don't bend the knee. No. And remember, I actually sort of, talked about yesterday that finally Joe Rogan had come to his senses and just literally started acting like us and overly saying that you know he's they're calling he's calling them out. So again, the type of final mistake that actually sort of Joe Rogan had made is first he actually sort of bend the knee and literally well he apologizes, but of course after Ron DeSantis and Joe Rogan, I mean Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump came out and says like to Joe Rogan, kind of don't apologize to these people. Yes, don't apologize. Don't bend the knee. All mistake was that is the thing there. Don't apologize. Kind of don't bow down. Yes, don't bow down to these people. Don't apologize because they can go fuck themselves. Like, come on, they don't want any of it. We know. I know the best. Like I've seen it here. So remember also sort of talking about on battling cancel on the steps of how to battle cancel culture and what are the things that you need to do when they actually sort of trying their ultimate best to just literally destroy you for having a sort of different point of view, different opinion than them. It is nice and simple here that you need to do is overly don't apologize, don't bend the knee, don't bow down. Because all of these people on the left, they don't want any of it. Yes, they don't want any of apologies because the only thing that they want to do is just, make your life miserable. They don't want to actually destroy your life, and kind of, basically destroying everything you hold dear to. So, um, there we go. In hours. Watch. Sold out Madison Square Garden concert crowd chants. Let's go, Brendan. Boom. Let's go, Brendan. I love that. Bunch of mad lads. Oh boy. So just take a look at that. So basically, bunch of mad lads out there chanting "Let's go, Brendan" and trolling Biden and um 30 dBs are louder than average basketball game at the famous arena. So over 13,000 rowdy country music fans erupted in chants of "Let's Go Brandon" and USA during Morgan Wallen's tour opener at New York City's um, Madison Square Garden on Wednesday night. So bunch of there's a whole lot of big dick energy on there, bunch of madlands actually trolling this illegitimate regime, this illegitimate administration, this bullshit potato regime. And well, they're actually doing it by chanting "Let's go, Brandon," and sense of patriotism there, obviously. Because when you have just a bilateral of that type of people out there chanting "Let's go, Brandon," and kind of just literally shows that Biden had successfully let's see united Americans against him, and obviously all of these madlands, all of these people, this average American people, they're gonna actually um coming to Biden, kind of, gonna coming for Biden, and I would say to Biden, yo, Joe, yes, you dipshit potato. I would say to you is that it is better that you start getting ready, packing your belongings now because Um, it is 2022 and 2 more years, and I'm sure, boom, bye bye. You can kiss the White House bye bye. Like, kind of, here's the part here. Like, you can just literally say bye bye now because it's either by 2024 or by this year. Because um, overall, here's what I'm my prediction and my initial thought. First, my prediction. I'm sort of having a prediction is that kind of I'm having sort of prediction of, let's see, correct. Well, um, people coming together and actually voted kicking out the minors and the Democrats. Meaning is that kind of is actually spreading trouble for Chuck Schumer and Pelosi right now. And I think is that another part of my prediction is that um in Republicans will have Senate and the House back. It is just a primary of my prediction, but we're gonna see how it gonna goes because well, it those things are also part of my initial thoughts here, and well, there's no there's no guarantee if my prediction will come true or not. That's why I'm saying it. That's why I'm saying it right now that we all just have to see what's gonna happen in November. What the result will be of the midterm election because way more alternative the part here is that if my prediction actually came true, then this will is not this thing will not good look good to Biden this will actually sort of give Biden more reason to actually go for panic mode to sweat because well if indeed the Republicans of it indeed take back the House and the Senate well and the White House has been kicked out been voted out well oh well I'm sure impeachment process will start. It will be Marjorie Taylor Greene or Jim Jordan. Who knows? But maybe who knows who will start the impeachment. But the impeachment process could be let's see. Uh, yep, could be someone in the Senate. Also, there's going to be a chance that the Senate might actually start the impeachment process. But I think when it comes to the impeachment, it usually actually sort of uh, starts at the House first, and then the House votes, and then the Senate votes. Once the Senate and the House had deliberately, let's see, had voted, and the vast majority of the Senate and the House actually, the whole Congress actually voted for impeaching Biden. Boom. Bye bye Biden. Because if indeed that they actually sort of, they voted to impeach well Biden and indeed they actually sort of, voted to convict Biden of impeachment. Meaning he's gonna be out of office. But the only problem here is that according to the US Constitution, yes, that if indeed the President of the United States has been convicted of impeachment, um, Yeah, the sad part here is that the vice president will be the yes, we're gonna be the next president. Yes, meaning the overall part here is that the vice president of the United States will become the new president of the United States. So overally, the current vice president here is Kamala Harris, and oh boy, not gonna look good for America. Oh boy, not gonna be the end of the potato regime. Obviously, that's a thing that I can sort of clearly say. Excuse me, excuse me. My deepest apology. It wasn't my intention to actually do that stuff. I feel to actually bilaterally have that thing here. You know what I'm talking about here. You just heard it. So yeah, my excuse me and my deepest apology for it. So let's continue on reading the story here. So according to a press release describe uh levels of the decibel of decibel levels at the concert were uh 30 dBs louder than an average basketball game at the famous arena. Uh, Rolling Stone reports as early as the first song, Chance of USA filled the arena with at least one fan, quick to take credit for starting it on Twitter. Even more forceful wave was a wave of "Let's Go Brandon" reference of a euphemism of I mean for F Joe Biden, yes, fuck Joe Biden. The two occasionally were pitted against each other, with Biden winning out each time. Oh boy. So let's go, Brandon. Yep, that is literally fuck Joe Biden. So let me just not having a pleasant time whenever that chat goes up because well obviously that that chat actually came up right after when NASCAR during NASCAR that Brandon Brown, yeah, so Brandon Brown actually won the NASCAR, and the actually reporter actually sort of think that decided to actually put a kind of protection on Biden or so forth or so, but she actually ultimately decides to actually kind of I think she might misheard it, or she actually just sort of decided to run a protection of Biden. And she actually just literally said, I should have said that these people are chanting "Let's go Biden," even though they're actually sort of chanting "Fuck Joe Biden." So that's how the sort of chant was born. Of the chant was sort of in a short of period that chant became so popular. So let's watch this. Boom! Holy oh boy! So wow. showed him references. Oh, I'm not gonna actually say it. Um, I don't want to. There's a whole type of reason why I don't want to actually sort of go on and say that word, if to see as a N word, because I'm not actually. So here's the part here. If you're thinking that I am just actually saying it to just sort of save myself from cancel culture, no, hell no, because it is utterly within my right to actually say don't want to say it because well, here's the part here. There is no type of thing here that I would just sort of take that word lightly. But you know what? Uh, the thing here, some there's people actually just heard N word like Dave Chappelle, let's see, and Morgan Wallen. There's some other people also, but doesn't matter. Let's take a look at this video.
She is me where I was from. Says I'm waiting into little town outside of Knoxville. Headed by some dogwood trees. She tried talking with my accent. We held hands and waded into that blue water. She left her flip-flops from my red wings on the beach. Yeah, but now I'm dodging potholes in my sunrise Silverado, like a hard-road desperado, headed right back to my roof. Something about the way she kissed me tells me she's of Eastern Tennessee. Yeah, but all I brought back with me was some sand in my roof.
So there is one here also, another one. What's it? Uh, so here we go.
Take care of this pussy. Hey, actually, hey, y'all too. Hey, take care of this pussy ass motherfucker. Oh, fuck you. Hey, Gracie, take care of this pussy ass nigga. What is this, Gracie? What is this? What is this? Can you tell me their name?
So, well, already of the thing here is that, uh, for the most of part here is that you just already seen here. He should actually slur the N word, but well, obviously the cancel culture mob, they just don't want to let go of it. And well, of course, let's witness. The outrage mob is still upset that the attempt at destruction of Mullen's career following this scandal has backfired, and that now he's now beginning a successful nationwide uh tour. Boom. So there you have it there. So it's no sort of surprising kind of no wonder why, I mean. Yeah, so I mean is that no wonder why the leftist, the cancel culture mob, they're they're trying their best to sort of try to destroy that person of um well, yeah, so Morgan Wallen, yeah, so yeah, so yeah, oh boy, so that is basically Morgan Wallen. So he actually hurled the N word, and if no wonder why the cancel culture mob are ultimately trying their best to just overly destroy him because well, even though he actually hurts it, but he's already they tried to cancel him, but they didn't succeeded, so they're upset because they're always this leftists. They're always sort of finding ways to get upset over type of nonsense, type of basis of nothing. Obviously, that's what I'm trying to point out here. So, um, well, of course, here the show will be going for a break here, and be right back.
You will not comply with the institution's sick illusion. No, it won't be televised. Welcome to the revolution. We will not comply with the institution's sick illusion. No, it won't be televised. Welcome to the revolution. The revolution won't be televised. Government been telling lies. If you're not with us, you better step aside. Witnessing a genocide, everything is centralized. The food that we consume and they spraying it out with pesticides. Easily identify the real and the fake, giving us a reason to pray. I'ma make my own choices, a voice for the voiceless. They trying to destroy us, avoiding the poison. It's all pointless if you don't have a purpose. If you read the verses, you'll know who we versing. Government can tell you what your worth is. Look deeper than the surface. They don't even want you researching or asking questions. We all being tested. Shut your mouth, they comply, that's the message. Want you depressed on prescriptions that mess with your head. Got you stressing, suppressing expression. We will not comply with the institution's sick illusion. No, it won't be televised. Welcome to the revolution. We will not comply with the institution's sick illusion. No, it won't.
alone in the cold, but my soul never sold. I'm exposing the clones. God has chosen this role. All of those who oppose want me hopeless and broke, like I'm nowhere on boats. I'm just trying to tell them all about the flood. I can feel it in my bones, I can feel it in my blood. Man, I came up out the mud, only God is my judge. I don't listen to these politicians, they the real thugs. Won't comply with the lies, they disguise it as science. They want you compliant, the media's bias. These corporate giants are capitalizing on us by dividing, but I'll keep on fighting.
We will not comply with the institute's sick illusion. No, we won't be televised. Welcome to the revolution. They're trying to dumb us down. Don't want us to make a sound. We gotta get out of now, 'cause it's a revolution. We will not comply with the institution's sick illusion. No, we won't be televised. Welcome to the revolution.
From the city streets to the country roads.
Ah, oops. I didn't realize that my microphone's still muted. Holy balls. I didn't even realize it, so my mistake on that. So yeah, there you have it. So well, I'm back here, my friends. Oof. So well, for the most of bilateral stuff here, just sort of seen from right over here. That is 100% correct. Welcome back. So we're gonna move on to the next topic here. There we go. Gateway Pendant. Mama Bear warns Justin Trudeau and Ottawa Mayor, if you touch one single child out there, I will personally gather minivans full of soccer moms and we will drive to Ottawa. Boom! Oh boy! So, overly of the stuff here, just seeing from right over here, Alika Honk! Alika Honk, my friends! Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. This big energy on moms. Well, obviously, you're just seeing here that they're actually, even the women having a big energy out there. And here's uh here's what she says, like, if you touch one single child out there, I will personally gather minivans full of soccer moms and we will drive to Ottawa. Boom! Oh boy! Because well, for surely here, you just sort of seen right over here that if that happens, you're gonna have a more shits on your hands, Trudeau. Ever since day one of the Truckers for Freedom convoy protest, children have played an important support role for the brave women who are risking it all to force Canadian government officials to remove the oppressive restrictions and mandates from their fellow citizens. Regulators share stories about the support they receive from Canada's youth. Boom.
I just got overwhelmed. We opened up one of the bags to see what they had in them, and I got punched in the heart. They had their kids do up a bag with a cookie in it for the truckers,
and they attached a note with it. Sorry, I'm getting emotional again. I'm going to show you what it was, and this is why we're doing what we're doing. Some little kid made this. Reach for the stars, we believe in you. And there's a picture of a truck. Inside of it, they left a note. The note says, "Dear Mr. or Mrs. Trucker, it's really awesome that you're standing up for human rights. I'm only 11, so I don't know much about it, but I believe what's happening is wrong. And I know you can do it. Sincerely, Kate." This is absolutely amazing, and this is why we're doing it.
Pop, 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 pop. 100% fed up. These young masters' children are having the time of their lives playing with other kids on bouncy toys brought up in for the children of truckers. Boom. MSM Media Truckers Post Force. Anyway, Castle. Bring your kids with a bouncy castle. Oh boy. So, obviously, you're just seeing right over here that this is 100% thing that you're just seeing here. That, yep, 100% fed up. So, overall, you just seeing here that this is another thing that will spell trouble for these tyrants. Uh-oh.
Look at this group of terrorists, eh? With their bouncy castle.
Terrorist! They call it terrorism, obviously, which is bullshit, though. A carnival-like atmosphere has been consistent throughout. Kids are enjoying weird time with their mom or dad, who spends a lot of time on the road, and they're also learning a valuable lesson about what it means to peacefully protest for their rights and freedoms. Boom! And obviously, this is the thing that the government doesn't want kids to actually learn. That's why they're actually sort of, trying to do their best to brainwash children, indoctrinate them, believing that complying with tyranny is the way out of it, and kind of, fighting for your rights and freedoms is actually sort of terrorism or whatsoever, which is kind of, 100% BS though. And well, really, right over here, this is sending a sheer amount of panic to these tyrants. That's 100% for sure. Boom! Boy. So, but on Tuesday, things in Ottawa took an early turn when Ottawa police involved in thought have children living in them. Concerned about safety of children. Um, fuck you. Fuck off. Tucker's dad reaction to CBC asking for kids. A government journalist for through the CBC state broadcaster Justice welfare to assist the truckers' kids across with respect.
Did you hear the statement
I
that
heard
I?
what you
Yeah.
said. So you saying,
that's what I'm curious.
so you saying that my teenagers are threatened for being in Ottawa? Is that what you're telling me? Answer my question.
You heard the statement.
We've all answered questions. You answer mine. Are my children in danger
for
from?
the Children's Aid Society?
Are my children in danger for being in Ottawa?
Well, it sounds, from what my understanding of the Children's Aid Society, they
Are my children in danger for being in Ottawa right now? Tell me yes or
What do you
no.
mean by in danger?
You tell me. You're coming here trying to say that
The
children
fact
are
that
in
the Children's Aid
danger.
Society is getting involved
You
sounds
got the
like they
inside scoop
matter.
because you guys are the messenger for the devil. You tell me right now, are my kids in danger for being here? Should I send them on the first train out of town?
Well,
Tell me now.
It sounds like the Children's Aid Society is saying that.
So
they're
you're
getting
saying that my
involved.
kids are going to get hurt?
I'm not saying anything. I
Well,
don't.
the
All I'm
Children's
saying
Aid-
is that they put out the statement, and I'm looking for your reaction.
So you're telling me now that I should be getting my kids out of town because they're going to get hurt.
I'm not telling you
He's going to come in here and do what to my kids? What are they going to?
All I did was read
Because
the
you don't
statement.
give a shit about nobody. All you care about is your
No,
paycheck.
because
You
I'm here
sold
to
your soul a
document
long
what's
time ago.
happening in the city
You
of
sold
Ottawa.
your soul a long time ago, and you sold your soul a long time ago.
I'm here to.
You work for the devil. That's who you work for. That's who you work for. That's your boss.
I'm here to talk about this statement.
And I'm telling you, are my kids in danger in this city right now?
I don't know the future. Like, I don't know. I mean, all I can tell you
Well,
is
then
that
why
there's-
are you coming here trying to act like
I'm
you're
here to
concerned about
docu-
kids?
I'm here to document.
I have
the
two
fact that they put
teenagers
out
here that
this-
are in my car. Are they in danger? Yes or no?
I don't.
Yes
I
or
don't,
no?
I don't know what the future brings. I
Go
don't.
fuck yourself then.
I don't. All right.
Are you guys going to air this, or are you going to chop it all up?
Then go fuck yourself then. Oh shit. Uh, this guy actually just blown it up. Oh shit. Oh boy. Uh, uh, so they did actually answer the question. So it is ridiculous. Oh boy. Uh, oh, holy shit. Oh boy. Holy moly. This is just my literally something else. Oh! What? If you don't know, then go fuck yourself. Oh, shit. Oh boy, it's just making me laugh so hard. Oof. 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 That thing actually made me laugh so hard. Then go fuck yourself. I like that. Oh boy. It is something else. Because I actually did a great job because well it is what you expect because after being asked the same question, refusing to answer it. So naturally, if you don't blah 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 then it went on to the go fuck yourself then. Boom! Nice and simple. And it is true that they these people they actually sort of sold their soul to the devil long time ago. Obviously, excuse me. Oh boy. Pardon me for that. So, well, obviously, kind of, I can't help but to just sort of nod in agreement because overally here is that well the trucker I mean is that well he just pointed out the most very obvious part. They indeed I mean they only actually sort of care about their paychecks and they just overly sold their souls to the devil long time ago, and they don't and being asked the same questions, like they don't just literally answer it. So then what happened in the end? They go fuck yourself then. I like that. Good job. So yeah, Kristen Nagel, who went to toe with CBC. Uh, a message from any Pope. So yeah. So yeah. Causing the lie. So I like that part here. And there we go.
Your job is done. Do you actually believe the stuff that you say out of curiosity, or do you just kind of do the script that you're told to repeat? I'm just curious because you have destroyed my life, CBC. You write a lot of hit pieces about me. My family has been doxxed. I've received death threats. I have a 6-year-old son, a 3-year-old son. I come from a good family, and you've literally destroyed my life because I ask appropriate questions. I just want to know if you have children, if this is actually the world that you feel that, you want to raise kids in, that you think kids, should be living in, if this is the future for them. Like, you're young. You actually think this is appropriate? And do you actually believe the work that you do, or is it just a good paycheck? You?
I totally get what you're saying there,
Like CBC has destroyed my life. Like, you should see the hit pieces, many of them that you guys have written about me. It's disgusting. I'm Kristen Nagel. I'm a nurse, and because of the hit pieces, you guys have totally ruined my career, and I've been fired because of it. People have doxed my address. People have given me death threats because of the lies that you guys spread and the way that you twist the truth. And I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and kids have never been happier than what has been created here. Why don't you show that truth? Do you see the smiles in the kids? Do you know what has been taken away from them these last 2 years? Do you know 6-year-olds have told me they wanted to cut themselves and kill themselves? Kids want to die because of the last 2 years. Why aren't you showing that? And now you're talking about kids' welfare safety? Now you think kids should be taken from their parents out of these trucks? You're working with welfare services?
what they're showing, they're like.
But you're repeating it. You're repeating it. And people are believing it. Why do you think there's people out here counter-protesting? Why do you think Winnipeg, someone drove down 4 protesters purposely and put them in critical care? Why do you think actually violence and hate happening? Do you know how divisive is? Yeah. Is this actually Canada? You know what you're reporting and what you're doing to the people out there. How does that make you feel? You're a young guy. This is not the world. This is not Canada. This is not the world I want my kids to live in.
Boom. So, for the last part here, let's watch this.
By now, most of us have heard the rumors that they want to send in MCFD to take the kids from the convoy. And some of us have also seen the video by frontline nurse Kristen Nagel, who went toe-to-toe with CTV while they were setting up to film said segment. A warning to our fearless leader and to the pathetic mayor of Ottawa. If you guys touch one single child out there, you will enrage every mother in this country. I will personally gather minivans full of soccer moms and we will drive to Ottawa. And if you think the truckers are giving you a hard time right now, you have seen nothing. Trust me, you do not want a city full of angry moms, because there ain't no angry like mom angry.
Boom! Oh boy! Holy shit. That is just something else. You can just say it there, my friends. Overlay of the part here, just seeing from over here. That is 100% correct. Yep. That is the last thing that hopefully that So they will actually sort of, reconsider what they're planning about these goofballs in the government. Because I don't think that you should actually messing around with angry moms. Uh-oh. So, there we go. Build back, big, Bill, Bill Clock better. Joe Biden protested during trip to Culpeper, Virginia. Bill Clock better. Oh shit. That is a great one, Savage lol. CRT, convict radical tyrants. Oof. I like that. That's a good one. CRT, convict radical tyrants and build back quack. Build quack better. Those are good signs though. Uh, Getty Images. Joe Biden traveled to Culpeper, Virginia on Tuesday to deliver remarks at German, German community college on his administration's efforts to lower healthcare costs. Really lower. Hmm. Let's take for a few seconds here for a perfect period. Let's take toot, 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 toot. Lower health costs. Had they even actually did that? Had they signed any executive order or had they done any of that type of thing? Nope. The answer is nope. I don't think so. Because you know what here obviously is that you just sit here. Yep, he is just going out here and saying those stuff. Um, I like Bill Crackbeller, a response to the Biden administration plan to provide free quack pipes to advance equity. Holy shit! Uh, Joe Biden is protested everywhere he goes. Our free quack pipes offered during Black History Month by this idea. Oh shit! Oh boy. I think about this quack pipe thing here. I think it will actually make Hunter Biden very happy because obviously Hunter Biden is a dipshit meth head. Well, over of the part here, I think that he actually sort of tested positive for drugs and for smoking illegal drugs. And I think that's the type of reason he was actually sort of kicked out of the military or so. One protester on the route of Biden's trip to Culpeper, Virginia has a sign reading Bill Quackbetter. Oh boy. A little girl had a sign, don't sniff me. Biden sucks. Obviously that Biden loved to sniff little girls and women also. Like he loved to sniff them. Like he's a pedophile. Obviously, he's a kid fucker. Big Pharma lawyers mandate medical freedom. Impeach Pelosi. The part here is that how can actually you can sort of impeach Pelosi because she's the speaker of the House. But I think you can just only sort of able to just literally remove Pelosi by voting her out. The states with endangered, endangered Democrat Representative Abigail Spanberger efforts to help bolster the election in November midterms. No, no, thank you. So I don't think that will actually sort of happen. I don't think that the shit that as you know, the shithead that Biden tried to endorse it. No, I don't think uh she will able to um get into the office now. So well, we're gonna actually speak of the crack pipes here. Overally, the thing about that, I totally find that so ridiculous because here's the part here. Um, Overall, when it comes to the general part here, yes, oh yes, he's just going out here and then well, like kind of going out there and then and kind of oh for equity, we should equity. What the fuck? Equity, holy shit! We quite fast, holy moly. Basically, um, he's just sort of trying. He's just out there trying to just sort of turn everyone, everyone out there that in America into a drug addict. Holy moly! But I think the one that was being so happy on it, his son, Hunter Biden. And, well, you know what here? Right off here, I think the right off thing that I would like to just sort of, say right over is that, um, you know, when it's come to Biden, holy moly, his family kind of, is corrupted. Biden family is the most corrupted well, family in the United States politics, obviously. So let's move on. Project Veritas new leak footage exposes diversity and inclusion program pushed by Disney to transform culture. Holy, what the fuck? Holy, woke Disney. Oh boy, there we go again. Wokeism at its finest. Just right over here. That well, you just in here kind of the type of hard and dedication that Project Veritas is putting out there to actually show the truth. The depth of investigative journalism, something that those people in the media mob doesn't do anymore. They don't actually go and dig up dirt here because they don't want to. Because obviously they're paid up. That is for sure. So Project Veritas Thursday released leaked footage exposing the diversity inclusion program pushed by Disney as part of their Expose ESPN series. Earlier this week, Project Veritas released undercover video exposing blatantly racist shit at ESPN studio. The whistleblower ESPN studio operator Trevor Adams recorded undercover video and audio of several ESPN employees this week. Uh, a toxic and racist workplace. Uh, so, what can I say about this? This type of wokeism nonsense again. Because, you know what? It is actually sort of, ridiculous enough to say kind of, that the we have, America is having woke military, let's see. Yeah, the American people actually said no to that bullshit woke army advertisement. And I don't know what to even say anymore because, you know what? When it comes to wokeism, it's been all around since the Biden administration, like ever since last year. Like it's been over a year now since we've kind of. Here's the part here, like it's over a year now since we have started dealing with this type of woke nonsense bullshit. And obviously, you know, I think that it's all started with Goodyear car. They're the very first one had gone woke, obviously. And I'm sure you guys know the sort of slogan of go woke, go broke. You know, getting woke, going broke. Meaning you go woke and you go broke. So right off, here's the kind of I would totally encourage you to actually boycott woke corporations. Coca-Cola, like fuck Coke. Like, the thing here, as much possible, I don't want to actually sort of uh drink Coke because I'm trying my best to actually boycott these motherfuckers for being woke. We have Goodyear, Coca-Cola. Speaking of Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, that's a good one. Yes, Coca-Cola. Um, I still remember when they actually went on and said, kind of, be white. Yes, I mean, be less white. Oh, shit. Oh, oh boy. So let's watch this video. I had enough talking about this woke nonsense here. So let's get over it so we can actually end it here.
Our second area of work is our community, which is comprised of a task force of about 85 members who act as our thought partners in our research and discuss top-of-mind issues. They share best practices, and Disney is a part of this task force. Copal also provides advisory services to help companies with strategy and programming to really transform culture.
What we found is that we see that colorism comes in as a relevant factor. And, of course, there's been lots of discussion about colorism in the media, especially earlier this year with the film In the Heights as it relates to representation in that film. But specific to our research, what we did find is that Latinx professionals with darker skin were far less likely to say that their evaluations reflect their contributions. And some Latinx professionals with lighter skin may be seen as white, whether or not they identify that way. And these perceptions lead them to being treated more like insiders.
But what? Holy shit! Holy shit! That is something else. Oh boy. You know what? Let's move on. I don't want to actually take my time on. I don't want to sort of, take my time further on talking about that woke bullshit stuff. So, here we go. Gateway Pendant. Capitol Police Department rules brutal beating of Trump supporter Roseanne Boyland and steps of Capitol while unconscious who then was objectively reasonable. Oh, really? Really objective reasonable. So, just overally here is that obviously they would never call Philip Anderson because it's gonna blow up their narrative. That's obviously so. Um, let's see. So overally here is that doesn't mean a justified thing here, but still a murder. So this was an amazing eyewitness report that has been ignored by the fake news media because it doesn't obviously, it does not fit their narrative. Obviously, a black Trump supporter was gassed with cloud pepper spray, pushed down then to death. Wow. And obviously that they're actually still continuing on with sort of, continue on with their nonsense with their January 6th insurrection, the most deadliest January 6th, the most deadliest insurrection knows the mankind. Understand this what was the first woman killed? Wow. So well, just seen here is that yes, they just going out here and overly they just well apparently it is true kind of that if you're Capitol Police you can actually sort of beat up a Trump supporter at will, kind of beat up to death. Ridiculous though. And that should be not be tolerated. And well, it should those Capitol Police they should be held accountable. But obviously, the media, Nancy Pelosi and Pelosi, the January 6th bullshit commission, they're not actually gonna say anything about it because they're gonna blow up their motherfucking narrative. And what the Gateway Pendant. We're done wearing masks. Brave students across Washington State protest masks in schools. Boom! So, go, 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 Patriots. You have it there. These students, they're absolutely fed up. And they went it out and now protesting for their rights and freedom to ask for the this oppressive tyrannical restrictions to be lifted. Good. Because there's also one in Chicago also, and now here in Ontario we're now seeing students also planning a walkout and so forth. It's now spreading all across. Yes, it is spreading. This is how it should be because while the frontline freedom fighters out there fighting for what's in well, students needs to take action also. Nice and simple. So once again, trying to say here is that yes, students need to also bilaterally go out there and take action, stand up because this will never end until you actually stand up for your voice and freedom. Until you stand on your ground, until you say enough is enough. Brave high school students across Washington State protested mass in school on Wednesday. Said they're being kicked out of schools for wearing to wear dog muzzles. So, Turning Point USA students across State Washington. Let's watch this. All right.
You have to take it out here, please. Okay, you can go.
It's overrated. I got the standing time.
I just gotta check them off that I got really good. Oh yeah, they only a few kids grab the mask.
You will never get that move. You just want to go to school without a mask, you want to protest. It's as simple as that.
Proud of you.
Boop, boop, boop. Ah. So, just seeing it here. There's another one.
There's like 12 dozen
That's how you do it. And, well, students at Union High done with muzzles also. Boop, boop, boop. When you speak for your freedoms, you're going to be heard. It doesn't matter if it's in the parking lot or inside the school. Boom.
You know, all these liberal states are going to collapse. California's turning on this mandate already. You know, Oregon's turning on this mandate already. We're not going to fall short behind. And it's law over policy again. So, I mean, they could, you know, protect their jobs all they want, but everybody knows that we're the silent majority. You know, the people in there agree with us. You guys saw it in the teachers. You guys, the security up there agreed with us, you know. So eventually, you know, the walls are going to break through. And at the end of the day, you know, the only time that phrase "my body, my choice" should be used is not when it comes to killing babies, but when it comes to, you know, people trying to put stuff in our faces and inject us with the syringe and stuff like that. So that's all I gotta say for us.
What is your message to other students that saw you?
Stand up for your freedom, you know, stand up for your freedom. You know, nowadays students like us, you know, the typical millennial, you know, they join any activist clan that's, you know, walking around the streets. You know, they want to fit in with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about you guys. I like, you know, that they came out to us. I like that they didn't ignore us. So my message is, when you speak up for your freedom, your voice is going to be heard. It doesn't matter if it's in a parking lot, inside a school, it's going to be heard at the end of the day. So don't be scared, you know, don't shy away, you know.
That's it. I love that because it's true. It doesn't matter where it is, if you know the parking lot inside the school or you know somewhere else. It doesn't matter as long you actually speak your words and freedom. If you know when you actually, if you know when you actually speak up for your voice and freedom, when you actually stand up on your ground, when you actually say enough is enough with this nonsense. Boom. Pop, 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 pop. I love how this sort of, you know, this thing spreading around. So, well, for the most of bilateral things here that you just seen from way over here, this is the type of right momentum when you actually gather people to stand with you and actually you with group of people came together to actually stand up for your voice and freedom, when you speak up for your voice and freedom, when you actually say enough is enough and you stand on your ground. And this is the thing here. Absolutely, you're gonna be heard. You will be heard wherever it is. And you just saying how this thing is slowly uh it is not fast, but you know, but still it is spreading all around. So this is just a good start because here's the thing here. When it comes to fighting for Western freedom, hold the line, kind of keep on fighting. Don't give up. Mass civil disobedience is needed to put pressure to this government. Yes, to put pressure on the government. Yeah, so basically that's the thing, right? So again, I'm saying here mass civil disobedience because obviously they're scared of the government is just literally scared of people acting out in civil disobedience. Why? Because it actually endangers their power. Yep. So let's move on. This is another type of ridiculous topic here. So James Carville says he wants to patch the unvaccinated in the face. So how about here? Like strategist James Carville, he wants to punch unvaccinated people in the face. So much for the tolerant left, obviously. So here's the thing here, bitch. How about you go fuck yourself and how about you go and punch yourself in the face instead? My body, my choice. Underscoring Joe Biden's underscoring Joe Biden's inauguration speech. Desire to unify the American people. Obviously, that's not. If you know, obviously that's not true. Made honest political war room. So and wow. I want to punch piece of shit unvaccinated people in the face. I wish they would. I wish what they would do is pass a law to make you immune from liability if you punch some unvaccinated people right in the face. What the fuck? Holy shit! So literally that is ridiculous. So to make you immune, now go fuck yourself because literally, you're just spreading violence here. So much for this tolerant leftists. And you know what here? Our side doesn't call for any type of violence at all, no. But the left hand side does. So, again, so much for this sort of, tolerant leftist. And how about all of you dipshits? How about you can go and punch each other in the face? Or you can just go and punch yourself in the face? So, because the Supreme Court will knock it down, obviously. It is widely unconstitutional and a disgrace to the very notion of American liberty. So, well, that is the thing here with this type of people. They don't just like these people. They don't actually sort of understand the true meaning of my body, my choice. I'm not talking about my body, my choice, but I'm sort of killing feeders and killing uh say killing babies, but when it comes to having a medical procedure, obviously, that's the thing with my body, my choice. I, our side's point of view must come to my body, my choice. But these goofballs, they don't actually sort of understand that shit, and they said kind of immune to actually sort of when you push unvaccinated people. No, 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 no. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You dumb piece of shit. You dumb motherfuckers. You know why I'm saying this was? Do you know why I'm swearing right now? Because these people, they're literally 100% insane. They're crazy. They're sick in the head. That's why. When you have those type of people calling for violence against people who actually sort of made a choice, that's basically nonsense. That is already sort of thing here. Like, two-tier citizen class society. Because actually go for the kind of equity and equality. My ass, because what our side is fighting about, kind of fighting for is real equity and equality, meaning people not be segregated and discriminated based on their vaccination status. All right, it is nice and simple. So let's move on. Take a look at this. Politician who had eight coup who had the eight Fauci miracle sauce who took the eight had his who had his eight Fauci baptism hospitalized in serious condition. The leader of the ultra nationalist liberal democratic party of Russia, Vladimir uh, Zir, Zirinovsky, has been hospitalized in serious condition after an experimental uh, well after receiving eight Fauci baptism, and they say it is safe and effective. Safe and effective. But take a look at this. Um, this debunks all of this type of nonsense narrative that they're actually pushing right over there that it is actually sort of safe and effective, because we know it is not. That is not the case here. So let's go and win this. So a spokesperson confirmed he's in serious condition and said doctors diagnosed him with pneumonia or fluid in the lungs, with 50 to 75 of his lungs affected. Uh, he contracted proof. He was attended the state off. So, uh, Sputnik 5, and then 6 more Epivac, and oh boy. So, feeling good, yes. Feeling good that I got the Fauci baptism. I'm glad to take it, says this goofball. I'm feeling good. And then after the eight, boom. He's now in hospital. So much for the safe and effective. Protect his fellow citizen. Oh. Seven Fauci baptism. Of course, this is a burden, but it's hard. But we must protect each other. Yeah, right. Ah, So didn't get sick. So boom, 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 boom. Oh boy. See this? See this thing? Come on, man. So kind of glad to take it, and kind of it is burden, but we must protect each other. Then he says kind of he actually sort of brag about kind of that he got kind of eight Fauci baptism, and kind of he's sort of bragging right about it. We're just singing about it, and then after a few moments after receiving his eight Fauci baptism, oh, book, his he ended up in hospital. Oh yes. So much for safe and effective. Nice one. Nice one, idiots. So, well, obviously, that is the thing that happens. Boom, pop, pop, when you actually just believe the lies and just go on and not do your own research. So, well, obviously, that's what the things that occurred here. That man is crazy. Eight Fauci ouchie. He got the eight Fauci miracle sauce. Oh boy. And actually, he actually sort of, listen well to what Dr. Anthony Fauci says is kind of, spreading all around, kind of, he actually listened well to his words. Knowing about Dr. Anthony Fauci's words. Holy shit. Holy shit. Again, so much for the type of narrative that you should go and take it because it is 100% safe and effective. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, bitches. It's shit comments. So, well, of course, hey, my friends, this is it for the show today. And, well, thank you for actually taking up your time today to actually listen to my commentaries. And, well, hopefully to see you guys again tomorrow. Well, I might actually sort of schedule this show for tomorrow earlier than 6 p.m. Maybe around like maybe 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. Who knows? But that's where we have to see. So, well, once again here, my friends. So, thank you for actually taking up your time and watching the show and listening to my commentaries. And well, of course, again, this is it for the show today. So, well, keep up the good fight here. Keep fighting for what's right. Please don't drink the Kool-Aid. Please don't, because otherwise you're gonna end up like that Russian goofball that I just talked about, who actually sort of bragged about getting his Fauci baptism, and then he ended up in the hospital bed. So, well, of course, well, stay safe. And, well, of course, here, my friends, I would say, see you guys tomorrow then. And why off then? So, yeah, until then, here, my friends, don't forget to, well, keep fighting for freedom. And, of course, have a great, great night. Enjoy the rest of your evening here. So, once again, keep fighting for freedom. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.